Good evening, y'all. I'm going to talk about Charlie Kirk. I'm putting that at the beginning of this video, just in case anybody clicked on and then is interested and clicked right off. Maybe that'll be the topic that people want to hear about. In the background, you're going to hear my doggy. But now that I got the topic out, welcome to Odd One Out. I should go ahead and be, introduced now. It is May 23rd, 2026. It's a Saturday. It was a nice day. Before I get too much into it and talk about the day, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm an early channel. I sound robotic on the microphone. I was able to hear back from the last video. I'm going to get that figured out, but not in time for this one. I'm still going to sound like a robot. Today we had a good day. Torrential downpour, but we were still able to get out to the farmer's market over here in Tulsa. Got the things we needed. Loved going to the farmer's market. Then we went to Costco afterwards. Shameless plug to Costco. It's fantastic. Love Costco. And in Trump's economy, it's probably the best place to be able to shop and get the most bang for your buck. And then after our daughter had a nap, we went bowling and had a good time with that. I still got it a little bit. I never actually had it, but I didn't lose anything. Can't say I gained anything either. It was the first time for my little toddler. She really had a good time. And then we got snow cones afterwards. So it was a really good day, man. It ended up being beautiful. Saw like a double rainbow too after the sun came out. And just a really good day, man. But this video is going to be about Charlie Kirk and how much of a total piece he was. And whenever he passed away, and it was September 10th of last year. I just remember it was like the day before 9/11 or something, day or two. My first reaction was, oh my gosh, like that's awful. Like he's got a wife, he's got kids. Even if I didn't like him at all, I wouldn't debated him, by the way. You never saw it on his channel because I did great. And he literally just conceded his points and was like, okay, thank you, have a nice day, after like 5 minutes. Because I didn't, wasn't good content for him to be able to run laps around college kids like he likes to, people that are not prepared and people that don't know what they're doing. Like, as soon as he realized I know my stuff, I won't pretend to be, I don't think I know as much as him. But he has to defend utter bullcrap. That's what the right wing is. It's utter bullcrap. So I don't care how good of a player of the game you are. If you're playing golf with wooden clubs from the 1600s with a feather golf ball, you're going to be terrible compared to somebody who's not. So regardless, sitting under a tent that said "prove me wrong," and I got 5 minutes, and I think I gave him like 3 different arguments, and he at the end of every single one he was like, "Yeah, that's fair," and it's like, okay, and I appreciate the honesty, but like, okay, this is not going to be on your channel. So whatever. Even though I didn't like the guy, I was really shocked. Didn't think he didn't deserve it. Nobody deserves for sitting there at a public speaking event talking politics to get shot and killed. Like, that's evil. That's unjustified. I just was like, wow. The one thing that really got me, though, is then I saw the right wing come out, he's with Jesus. He was the greatest Christian example we have of our young people. He was a young, great Christian man. He exemplified Jesus. And these evil left-wingers, they killed him. They took him. And it's just like, all the big-time right-wing accounts came out and demanded a civil war immediately. The left wing doesn't know what they started. And Trump comes out and is like, the radical lunatic left, they killed him. Like the most unpresidential thing of all time before we knew any details, before his body was even cold. And then don't even get me started on the funeral/rally, the WWE mania. Which even I think right-wingers now see that for what it is. Like finally now, after the dust is settled, like, Erica Kirk is weird. But, I just went from feeling really sad for his family to pissed off because I'm a Christian. And, I don't choose my politics because I think, this point is Christian. This is a Christian point. It's like literally just a it is intertwined in morality and basic decency and good and policy. It's more about policy. Of course, the morality is what leads me to the policy too. Like I want universal health care to give people that, like, we have tens of thousands of Americans die every year because they're denied medical health care. They don't have any health insurance at all. And they flood our emergency rooms. I want people to have better lives. Even the people I severely, strongly disagree with, I want them to have higher wages and good health care and better lives. I can't say the same thing for them. I truly, I'm not going to blanket that to every single right-winger. But the politicians in power, Trump, every single day, just about, talks about the radical lunatic left and how he hates the left. The Democrats. So, I don't think it's the same with that. But I just was really bothered and thinking, no, he was not a good Christian. He was a total bigot, total racist, misogynist bigot. And those words get overused sometimes. But no, I've got a video here that you can see in the back screen from the Seneca Project where it's 7 minutes of Charlie Kirk's own words. I'm going to kind of pause as we go. But it's just you want to talk to me about how good of a Christian he was? You're supposed to be able to judge a Christian by the fruits that they bear. And you're really going to tell me that based off of this guy? And I know people slip up. I know people screw up. We're not Jesus Christ. However, how can you possibly align the two things of just constant things I'm about to show you and somebody carrying the Holy Spirit and advocating for Jesus? It's untenable. We all make mistakes, and we make some mistakes. I made plenty that are deeply embarrassing. But it's Charlie didn't think he was wrong in any of these things. He never repented for any of these things. He thought that they were just fine. He clearly never thought he was wrong. Thought it was just fine. You can't tell me that that's the Holy Spirit moving through somebody who routinely talked like this and formed his viewpoints like this, were deeply damaging and hateful. So, without any further ado, let's get into it.
And I'll tell you one more thing that's on my mind tonight, and conservatives everywhere. The idea that people are saying, well, he was an extremist, or he was a racist, or he was an...
And he was. But let me go ahead and get these captions off. A little bit distracting. Total rookie channel, man. Cut me a break, okay? Give me a joke. This is what Mark
Nazi or
said.
Misogynist, whatever. Charlie Kirk was a mainstream conservative Republican.
He was.
Had views that are held by tens of millions of people, including more than half the country in the last...
He was, and that's what's terrifying.
Last election.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Already, I'm going to pause it just so I can, and I'm not just going to be like, how racist. I'm going to add context. This whole DEI thing is completely overblown and just, Charlie Kirk knew what he was saying was wrong. All the voters out there, all the people that he was grifting to, that was his whole, he was selling a product. He knew that that's not what DEI is, but all the people that buy up this garbage crap, that scroll through their X feed all day and just lose their mind and brain rot, they don't know what DEI means. They think, oh, black pilot, the guy's black, give him a job. And it's no. These guys still took 1,000 hours of flight tests. They still had to be qualified. They still showed themselves as equally qualified and capable and competent pilots. And then you want to have a workforce that actually mirrors the population. You don't want to keep on hiring white people whenever you have equally qualified black people or women or what have you. You want a workforce that's just as diverse as the population if that's possible. Sometimes it's not. That's okay. Like nurses, for example, primarily women, because primarily women are the ones that apply. But whenever you have a pilot, for example, and you have a black pilot going through the same exact lessons and passing everything, and then showing their competence and proving that they're capable and qualified, well, that's what DEI is I'm going to hire that person because we routinely have always turned them down. It's that is the systemic racism that we're trying to break. We want to talk about reparations? Reparations are done and over. The people died, unfortunately. The slaves that, and their first and second and even third generations have all passed. You want reparations? DEI. And it's the type of DEI or the reparations that nobody has to pay for. Nobody has to pay for them. But you promote and uplift the people that deserve it, that show their competency and that they're qualified. We want to talk about being a meritocracy. Okay, they're qualified. They have merit. So, but the voters and the people that follow TPUSA, they don't know DEI like that. Charlie does. Charlie's not stupid. He was not stupid. He was, I think, a genius. He was really, genius is tough. I don't know. But he was a really smart guy. He knew exactly what he was pushing was garbage. But he was there to sell a product and to make money and to shill. He knew what he was doing. So it makes it doubly wrong. I'm going to go ahead and start that over.
That are held by tens of millions of people, including more than half the country in the last election.
if I see a black pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. It begs the question, when you see a black pilot, you wonder, you say, I hope they are qualified. And in the spirit of affirmative action, we have Ramon and Cadillac are your two pilots. They've never flown before, but they are black. If I'm
absolute bullshit. They've never flown before, but they're black. Absolute bullshit.
Dealing with somebody in customer service who's a moronic black woman, is she there because of her excellence, or is she there because of affirmative action? I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know you do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
I don't know if actually this video breaks into what that quote was. He was talking about several people like Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama. What do you mean Michelle Obama was in their position not because of her brain power, but because she was black? She was the first lady. What are you talking about? She was married to Barack Obama, the president. That's why she was there. What are you talking about? How stupid are you? Ridiculous. And but all the right wingers and all the TPO, he is our debate champion.
The war on white people continues.
That's what it's about.
Steal a white person's slot to go be taken seriously. We are raising a generation of weak people like Simone Biles. LeBron James is a self-interested, narcissistic, and we know he's not very smart. You're representing your nation. You're selfish sociopath, not very bright, not wise, not somebody of good character. She is a shame to the country. Black.
Real quick, and I have to also add, sorry to pause it so frequently. God, I'm talking like Trump over here. People like, well, listen to the full clip in your context. What context would make any of these good? Tell me. And you know the answer is no context. No context at all. But let's continue.
Blacks in America did not have the same rights they got today. Data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. Let's get loud for Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm also going to offer some context and some nuance about the death of George Floyd that no one dares to say out loud, which is that this guy was a scumbag. Remember what BLM stands for? Burn, loot, and murder. Now, does that mean it deserves to die? That's two totally different things. Of course not. Prowling blacks go around for fun to go talk.
To be fair, I mean, George Floyd was not a good person. I do think that the left needs to be more consistent with these things. And I do think, like, primarily the left voter and the left like the politicians themselves don't sit here and think George Floyd was a good man. I think he's kind of straw-manning something there. Nobody says that. We just say that he shouldn't have been murdered for what he did. Like, yeah, he was, he had lots of charges. He was not some, upstanding citizen. The left doesn't say that, though. I don't see that. Not even like the most extreme or like that George Floyd was a good man. No. We just don't think he should have been murdered by a cop. So, I mean, I agree with Charlie there. That's there in this video. Just being fair and offering my own perspective. I don't think he should have been killed. I don't think he was a good guy either. That's just my personal opinion. Should never have been killed. Just and then all the jokes about George Floyd's death, it's like it was an unjust murder, and you're joking about it. And there are people that do that about Charlie too. Pete Davidson just did, which it was literally following a George Floyd joke, and so comedians are both kind of exchanging low blows. So it's like, okay, but I personally don't think it's funny to joke about Charlie Kirk getting murdered or George Floyd's death. I don't find that stuff funny, And if you do, I'm not gonna wag my finger at you, like whatever. Like I think that's just lowbrow bigotry. But I mean, just at least that's my personal stance. I will voice my opinion and be very judgmental on many things, but like I'm not. When it comes to comedy, I don't think it's right. But comedy is a very nuanced thing, so I just whatever, hands off, whatever. It can get really dirty in comedy. It is what it is. Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians of all time, and he's got some really, especially with the trans people. It's like, dude, okay, all right, we get it.
Target white people, that's a fact. There's no such thing as white privilege or racism. So black people are allowed to talk about black culture in a way that white culture cannot. Black people can go up and say that there's a baby mama problem in black America, and white people are not allowed to say that. Oh, I just did, so what are you going to do, cancel me? Black people are allowed to say, black people are allowed to say, black people are allowed. Skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day. Thomas Sowell and Justice Clarence Thomas are far better black role models to celebrate than Martin Luther King.
About Martin Luther King, he did apparently have a bunch of affairs. But, well, I mean, like, what are we talking about? Clarence Thomas, if you want to talk about the things he's done wrong, he's taken bribes, he's taken gifts. So, I mean, really? Two figures that have definitely done a lot of, they had their personal issues like people do. But Martin Luther King did unlimited amounts of good. Like, yeah, he had affairs. Like, yeah, that's bad. That's not good. I don't want to hear about any kind of affairs from a right-winger, by the way. Are you kidding me? That's why you're calling him a piece of work, a bad guy. Literally look at the guy that you champion, Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Like, shut up. So, unlimited amounts of good, Martin Luther King Jr. did. Unlimited amounts of good. Icon for a good reason. Can we look at his personal life and point out some issues? Absolutely. Like we can with everybody. But are you kidding me? The hypocrisy. Sit down. And I'm not, he's not with us anymore. Charlie's not. But I'm just talking about in general. Sit down if that's your viewpoint. Sit down.
That is not worthy of a national holiday. There's a mythology around MLK
as there should be.
Does not warrant the reverence that he gets treated with in America.
We have a federal holiday to a guy that talked about race all the time.
Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true.
We celebrate the Civil Rights Act more than the American founding.
The country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. The Democrats are not lifting a finger to remember the well over 100 people that have died in Texas Hill Country. The death toll likely would not have been as high if it wasn't for DEI.
All of the right-wing stuff blaming, that was about the flood or plane crashes on DEI when it's literally not the reason. So that flood in Texas, Doge gutted the National Weather Service and a bunch of, important emergency positions. Yes, that office was staffed at the time, but it was understaffed. You had one person trying to manage multiple different areas under their jurisdiction when that happened. And then, like with the plane crashes, you had just one controller, air tower controller, whatever, when there should be two minimum on the job. So, and it's just that's the evil that Charlie Kirk was. That's the evil that he put into this world. He caused so much harm. Charlie Kirk caused so much harm. You got tens of millions of people that believe this. Like, oh yeah, DEI, those plane crashes, DEI, all those kids died from the flood because of DEI. What are we talking about? It's evil. It's not just funny. It's not just factually wrong. It's wrong. It's morally wrong. It's evil. People need to call it out.
Brown Jackson is what your country looks like on critical race theory. You're gonna remove my appendix and you're a black lesbian. Ketanji Brown Jackson is an embodiment of the tyranny that we currently live under. She's an ideological, unintelligent, yet confident fanatic. What?
Unintelligent, really? Really? Like, what are you basing that off of? Never argued about any kind of merits of it. Highly educated, extremely qualified, a Supreme Court justice. What are you talking about? You know nothing compared to Ketanji Brown Jackson. This is all just red meat for your audience. Oh, black? Oh, woman? A black woman? Oh, yeah, I'm all over it, yeah.
Why does Kirk believe passing the Civil Rights Act was a mistake? Now, again, apparently they don't listen to the show because we do that at least once a week, right? So she wants to be the first ever black woman on the Supreme Court, yet she won't even admit that she's a woman. The transgender movement is an introductory phase. These doctors need to be put in prison to get you to strip yourself of your humanity. A Nuremberg-style trial. It's a mess.
Like when it comes to the surgeries on kids, I'm 100% against that. Surgeries. But again, this is Charlie Kirk. He knows this is not, like, he knows. I'm going to keep on repeating it throughout this whole time. Gender-affirming care can literally involve, like, your 10-year-old kid, for example. Say you got a 10-year-old biological boy coming up and saying, very scared, most likely, worried about judgment, depending on your style. Maybe they're not. Maybe you're such an accepting and loving parent. Maybe they're not. They come up and say, I felt weird my whole life. And as a parent, you would probably have seen it by then. It's not just going to happen up out of nowhere. And be like, I feel like I'm a girl, or I don't feel like I'm a boy. Can I start dressing like a girl? That's literally gender affirming care. It could be like, yeah, you can dress as a girl, Or yeah, I'll call you by your pronoun. Or yeah, you can start wearing your hair a certain way, or wear like, that's literally gender affirming care. It doesn't have to be surgery. It's a huge umbrella of things, and he knew that. Charlie Kirk knew that, but he's feeding on people that were not educated or were bigoted. They just ate it up. This guy speaking the truth, and it's like, shut up. You don't know anything. He knew what he was talking about, and he lied. Caused so much damage.
With machines. Interestingly, I think there is an argument to bring back the MRS degree.
Reject feminism.
Young women need to get married at a younger age and start having kids. I'm studying sociology. No, you're not. We know why you're here.
Submit to your husband, Taylor. You're not in charge.
You will find a husband if you have the intent to find a husband.
You got it.
I've got a buddy and he's libertarian, but he had talked about it's the left. I just feel like I want to be having my own traditional family and not be judged by it. And you got Charlie here is pushing for women to get the MRS degree, which is just get married, don't worry about college, don't worry about a job. Leave that to the husband. Let the husband lead the house. Lead, and you take care of the house, you take care of the kids. And to that, I say amen. If that's what works for your family. See, that's the thing. The left wing is not sitting here saying you can't have a traditional family. Like literally every single right wing or left wing president ever has had like a wife and kids. Like pretty much every single one. You don't have any left wing politicians that are saying the traditional families are bad. It's like no. But you know what you do have? You do have right when you're saying same-sex marriage is bad. We should make it illegal. It's ungodly. It's evil. The left wing doesn't attack whatever marriage forms that the right wants. The right wing 100% attacks some of the marriage formats or partnership formats, or just love, or just being the person you are. So it's not, and I wish I would have had that answer at the time. It's not the same. It's not. Oh, and I'm sorry, I had to quickly say, the right wing wants you dumb and uneducated so that you can believe an AI slop ad about Thomas Massey having a threesome with AOC and Ilhan Omar. Because that's literally what happened, and stirred up a whole bunch of voters to go vote against him just because of that, even though they had no idea who Ed Gallerine even is. You don't know who Ed Gallerine is. Nobody does. He's got actually a funny clip where he's like, the ladies of the View. That's like the one thing I know him for. And I exaggerate accents. That was actually how he sounded. The ladies of the View.
Your name. If not, you don't really mean it.
Democrat women want to die alone without children.
A lot of them are on birth control too, and birth control really screws up female brains, by the way.
It's really rich. I didn't know women not to complain 50 years ago. That's funny. We should tell them to stop freezing their eggs and start finding their partner earlier and have lots of babies.
Every single one of you need to make sure that your loved ones are not on birth control.
So materially insane to think that 1 in 5 American women will be raped in their life.
It is, I agree.
No, meaning that they're lying about being raped.
You're comparing abortion to the Holocaust.
Absolutely I am. In fact, it's worse.
Like 99% of abortions happen in like the first or second trimester. Like an unbelievably small, like 1% or less of them happen in the third trimester. When they do happen in the third trimester, it's almost every time because of the risk to the mother's health or severe condition with the baby where they won't be even viable, likely. I saw, and the same buddy I'm talking about sent me a picture one time of at least 5. I think at least 5, but it might have even been more aborted babies in a garbage can, or medical waste. It wasn't just a garbage can. It was like outside of a hospital. It looked like, with no context. We don't know if these were stillborns. We don't know if it was the risk of the mother's health. It's all rage bait. All of it's rage bait. And I don't want to hear anything from the right wing about abortion until you can actually start caring about the babies after they're born. You want to sit there for 9 months and tell everything about the women. Tell them what they have to do. You tell them. That's what the right wing likes to do. Police people. But then as soon as they're born, pick you up by your bootstraps, mama. What do you mean you can't feed your kids? Find a way to get it done. I'm going to vote against all the feeding the kids in school. Free breakfast, free school lunch? Screw you. Don't you increase my taxes. Don't you tread on me. Free healthcare, no free healthcare for you. Free housing, no free housing for you. It's like, y'all are not pro-life. You're pro-birth. That's what you are. You're not pro-life.
It's worse because Jewish donors have been the number one funding mechanism of radical, open border, neoliberal, quasi-Marxist policies. And by the way, and this is my other problem, death penalty takes too long, too many appeals. It should be public, it should be quick, it should be televised. Well, at what age should you start to see public execution?
16. I think you could do it earlier. I think you maybe at age 12.
I want to watch that execution. That'll make my day better. I mean, Joe Biden is a bumbling, dementia-filled, Alzheimer's, corrupt tyrant who should honestly be put in prison and or given the death penalty for his crimes against America.
The Democrat Party.
We'll never say that about Trump. He never said that about Trump. He watched January 6th. He watched him try to steal the election. He knew all about the fake electorate scheme. He knew all the wrong things about Trump. Never would have said that. Just, honestly, oh, no.
Believes everything that God hates. Like, we're dealing with maggots, vermin, and swine here. These are not good people.
It's literally how Trump talks. It's wild. Maggots, vermin, and swine.
They're not even a little bit good. In fact, I know people that went to Haiti passively as like agnostic atheists, and they came back searching for Jesus because they saw like legit demonic activity. Kamala Harris wants to see the elimination of the United States of America. Democrat
No comment. Keep going.
Party supports everything that God hates. There's not much you can do, folks. You have a government that hates you. You have a traitor.
Yeah, me supporting universal health care. Me supporting expanded, housing credits, child credits, trying to feed the homeless, trying to clothe the homeless, trying to shelter the homeless. God hates those things.
As the president, buy weapons. I keep on saying it. As top Republicans reject any link between GOP rhetoric and Paul Pelosi assault. If some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out.
About when Paul Pelosi was almost killed, when he was hammered almost to death. Some American hero, go bail him out. And as Trump said, by the way, how's Paul Pelosi doing? I heard his fence didn't work. These people are disgusting. I don't have a problem with dealing with vermin and swine when it comes to people like Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump. I can show you why I'm showing you why right now. There's no left-wing politician that talks like that. No left-wing politician that talks like that. You got randos like me who unashamedly talk, but I wouldn't even... You have no left-wing politician that has ever said anything like that's making fun of somebody's death or almost death. It's unbelievable how people buy this and how evangelical Christians buy this. Absolute garbage. This is not like Christ at all. What are you talking about? You should be denouncing him. And that doesn't mean you have to jump and say the left is better. I mean, if you draw up the lines with whatever. But there's nothing in you that should be saying, yeah, this is Christ-like. Yeah, I can see the Holy Spirit moving through this guy right now. Yeah, God chose Donald Trump. Okay, whatever.
Born Americans, you better buy weapons, everybody. Have a lot of guns at your disposal. I would never leave your home without a weapon. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
You've already heard that. If you stay even moderately plugged in, you saw the left. Randos, not politicians, used that quote and didn't add words to it, nothing. Just put that quote in there about Charlie Kirk's death. Those were his own words, and talking about kids being shot up in school. That unfortunately we're going to have to, it's worth it to have some gun deaths to keep our gun rights. I don't know what to say. That's just use that exact same quote. Don't even add anything to it when it comes to Charlie Kirk's death. What are you going to say? You can't say anything.
We actually need looser gun laws because I think that Oh yeah, they said we have more guns at the Turning Point HQ than you can imagine. Yeah, if anyone ever tries to come, that will not end well. Oh no! Imagine the world without Joy Reid. Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I am channeling the emotions of millions of conservatives who are angry. They knew Charlie. They loved Charlie. they view Charlie as a mainstream conservative Republican.
Sadly, he's not wrong. Like, that is the mainstream Republican. That's what they've allowed their party to become. So, like, I don't think he was wrong. I don't think Scott Jennings is wrong on that. The words of Kyle Kulinski, man, the right wing has become... It wasn't always like this. I have my beef, my qualms with them for a long, long time. Like, before my life, I mean. Like, looking back in history, a long time. Like, maybe, honestly, just close to forever. But, like, it's unreal what it's become. And in the words of Kyle Kulinski, it is a fascist, terrorist death cult. And I believe that. Absolutely. So, that's the video. Charlie Kirk was an absolute piece. He was. I'm so tired of people saying that he represented Christ. You know, I have no clue if he's in heaven or hell. I have no clue. I don't care. It's none of my business. I'm not God. I don't care. So, but just like saying that he exemplified Christ or bore any kind of fruit, like, what are we talking about? Nobody talks like this and never apologizes for it. Like, has a full career where you can put a 7-minute video of how many different quotes was that? Like, at least 50. Like, what are we talking about? So, whatever, man. Like, I'm so sick and tired. I'm so tired of the right wing controlling the narrative. It's all bullshit. So, you know, whatever, dude. That's the video. I appreciate y'all watching. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I'll see y'all in the next video. As I mentioned in the beginning, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It helps the growing channel. Odd one out.